Hello. Hi, my name is Evan Jones, and I'm the community manager for Pursuitery.com. And joining me today is Mickey, who is our summer youth ambassador. Please, hello.
Hey.
That's good.
Yeah,
It works. It works. It's why you're here. Anyway, thank you all for joining us today. Today we're going to introduce our second challenge for coding with Scratch. That would be the maze game, and this is on Pursuitery.com. This is the second of 5 challenges we're doing through Pursuitery. Once you complete all 5 challenges, you'll get a Scratch Ninja digital badge. If you have any questions, we'll answer them at the end of today's Geek Out. Please tweet them to us using the hashtag #CodingWithScratch. So if you have questions, just fire off of us with coding with Scratch as the hashtag. And today we will be discussing the maze game. Anyway, today's Geek has a brief introduction to our challenge. It's going to be very quick. We're going to break down what you need to participate, how to submit challenges, and how to get help. Please remember we have a Hints Geek Out tomorrow at 10 a.m., as well as a show and tell on Friday. And we have one other Geek Out announcement we're going to make in just a second here. Suddenly very popular. Hi, everybody. Okay, so to join the Geek Out, to join the challenge, you'll need to have a Scratch account. So sign up for that at scratch.mit.edu. You'll also need to join Pursuitery.com, which you can see right there-ish. See what I did there?
Yeah.
All right.
It's magic.
Learning stuff, both of us. You'll also need to have a Pursuitery.com account. Both are free and open to everybody, so jump in if you're on the web and you meet the contests. So sign up for both of those, and to join this second challenge, on Pursuitery you'll click Participate on the Coding with Scratch Chasing Game Challenge. Pardon me, that's the Coding with Scratch Maze Game Challenge. You're right, I saw you catch me. You're the man. You have to be logged in to join the challenge. So you'll then see a Submit Challenge button. Click on that and you'll be able to submit a link to your Scratch entry on scratch.mit.edu. So we have 2 options for submission, and this is important stuff. We've recently announced that we've been gifted with some Makey Makeys to give away for a weekly contest. Woo! All right, let's do it again. Makey Makey Woo on 3. Okay, I sincerely hope we were back there. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for sticking with us through the technical challenges. We were discussing how to submit challenges, and we were discussing our Makey Makey giveaway, Prize Time Geek Out, which is on Thursdays at 10 a.m., hosted by...
Yours truly.
That's right. Mickey will be hosting those on Thursday at 10 a.m. So basically we do them staggered for the week. So this week for the Makey Makey giveaway, we'll have guest Eric from... He's one of the co-creators of Making Makeys. He'll be on and discussing everything and discussing some of the entries, and we're going to have an award for people's games who won it. So please, if you're trying to get the Makey Makey, this is the submission part that's important. You have to have your work in by the Sunday night deadline. And the Sunday night deadline for this week is going to be June 29th That's this Sunday at 11:59 Pacific Daylight Time. We're in California, so it's basically the last minute of the day. So that's, again, Sunday, June 29th at 11:59 Pacific Time. By then, if you have your challenge submitted for the weekly entry on the Maze game, which is this week's challenge, you're eligible to win the Makey Makey, which is so powerful and amazing that our praise of it broke the internet just a few seconds ago. So be sure to check out Mickey's Prize Time Geek Out this Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific Time for an interview with Eric, who is one of the creators of the Makey Makey. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of cool stuff. We got some videos floating around at Pursuitery that show us working with it and messing with it. It definitely takes the games up to a new challenge. It makes Scratch a whole lot of fun. It works with any computer system, be it Mac, Windows, or even Linux. So that's one way to enter. So if you just do it by this week, you're eligible for the Makey Makey. But if you want to do the self-study route, you can study at your own pace. These are challenges that you can work on throughout the summer. You can get the badge as long as you have all of your entries in to all 5 challenges by August 24th at 11:59 p.m. And that's Pacific time because, again, we're in California. Kermit Arms. Oh, you totally left me hanging on that one. I was expecting a room full of Kermit arming pursuiters, as we like to call ourselves, and I got nothing. Left out in the cold here. It's so cold and black. It's so cold in black and white. Now again, you can do the self-study process, which means you get in all of your Scratch challenges, which are available to join at pursuitery.com, and you submit your Scratch links to us by August 24th at 11:59 Pacific time on August 24th. To repeat myself again. So if you need to edit your submission, you can go back to the challenge page and click Edit Your Submission to update your listing with a new URL. And as far as getting help goes, we have plenty of help available from our great and fantastic Scratch coaches. Round of applause for the Scratch coaches. You are the wind beneath our wings. Yeah, honestly, the Scratch coaches have done a fantastic job. We'd like to thank every single one of you who have helped out with this. If you need to get some help from our Scratch coaches, you can visit our Scratch studio for challenge number 2 and leave comments and questions for coaches. Now, that's going to be it. And I'm going to say this slowly so we can all get it. This is a web page. It's a cool sounding web page, but it's a web page. intr.st/Scratch Studio 2. That's intr.st/Scratch Studio 2. Now, if you want a direct link to the challenge from this video, you can go to that at this other link, which is, again, intr.st/mazegame1. That's MAZEGAME1. And those will be for the Scratch Studio and for the Maze game. Those are the links you're going to need to get in the game. Also note that we'll have a Hints Geek Out tomorrow that will offer you some hints and some tips. We'll have a video upline. We actually do have a video online. And don't worry if you're not sure about everything yet. Again, just talking about the general challenge. The whole point is you guys plunge into this, you have as much fun as possible. You get to build your own game and put some great touches on it. The stuff we saw last week was mind-blowing. The stuff we saw last week was so great. And it was just people just started messing around and having fun and geeking out and going to town. Yeah. Oh, I still remember that.
Yeah.
That's part of what it is. We just wanted everybody to have a really good time messing around with Scratch, and so far you've all done a great job. And so thanks to all the participants and all the coaches. So we have a Hints Geek Out tomorrow at 10 a.m. And then we have a show and tell after Mickey's on Thursday, where she gives away the Makey Makey. Oh, I got the notes. Pro hosting. Pro hosting 1950s camera. Okay. So we have a show and tell geek out on Friday at 10 a.m. where we're going to look at some of the very best entries of the week. It's very exciting to see what people have done. And again, you can see entries on the Scratch Studio as well, which is at intr.st/Scratch Studio 2. So that's where everything's going to go down. You can ask questions, you can see work, you can talk to the judges. Pardon me, not the judges, the coaches. I apologize. And then on Friday, we're going to do the show and tell. And then the circle starts over again. Okay, so let's talk about this week's challenge, the chasing game, and answer some questions. Again, if you have questions for us, please tweet us with the hashtag #CodingWithScratch. We've got a Twitter feed open here at our live broadcast center, staffed by, as you can see, many, many people. in a heavily fortified location. And we are just going to go ahead and answer questions after we get through the basics here. So let's talk about the challenge and what you're going to need for it. This challenge is designed to introduce more key ideas in terms of game design and how to use Scratch in terms of game design. So there are 3 requirements for this one. The first one is that you create 2 different mazes for the player to navigate using the arrow keys, much like last week. And the second requirement is that you limit the time for the player to solve the maze. We're going to introduce a timer this week. We're going to have that clicking on, so it's going to be something that you've got to have timed. And the third requirement is that you're going to have to create walls in your maze. You're going to have to create walls, which means we get to do miming. It's not much miming as it is dancing. Also, I'm kind of tight in the shoulder, kind of tight in the shoulders today. You're going to create walls in your game, so it's just going to be like a real maze. You're going around, you're hitting walls, and you eventually get to the end, and you can time out, and you can get to a second level even if you want to. So, but those are the 3 key things: 2 different mazes for the player to navigate using the arrow keys. We limit the time for the player to solve the maze, and we create walls that players cannot cross, non-permeable, as they say. That's a good word. So there are 2 key things this week that we want to address. How do you make a wall using Scratch? Since computers don't know what a wall is and what the background is, we have to tell them via our script to make these walls that players can't cross. And how do you switch to your second maze after a player finishes the first one? We're going to use the broadcast function to get all the parts ready for maze 2. Remember the broadcast function from last week from challenge 1. Which, by the way, you can still see on Pursuitery.com. All the challenges go out throughout the summer until August 24th. Get in all 5. Scratch Digital Ninja Badge. So if you know Scratch already and you want to dive into the project, you can add a bunch of extras. As always, you can add sounds, backgrounds, sprites, scores, other things. We saw some amazing work last week involving people who had gone the extra step. And please feel free. But again, have fun, jump in, and go ahead and go through it. And again, to submit your project after entering, you'll click on Participate in the upper right of the page on Pursuitery.com. You can submit your project. In order to get feedback on your project to be able to earn a digital badge, you submit the link to your project by clicking on the big red Submit button on the page, the challenge page. This button appears after you enter. Again, it requires a Pursuitery.com account. Oh, I have a question coming in, and let me just review the Geek Out schedule, then we're going to get to Q&As. And again, if you have questions for us, please fire at us with using, excuse me, I'm so excited I could barely talk.
Tragic.
I'm excited to be here. Can we get a woo?
Woo!
All right. Again, if you have questions for us, please tweet using the hashtag #CodingWithScratch. So the Geek Out schedule for this week, a quick recap. The Maze Game has started, so that's happening. On Tuesday, we'll have a Maze Game Hints and Tips Geek Out on Pursuitery.com. Again, where all the Geek Outs are. That will be streaming live on the page at 10 a.m. Pacific Time. On Thursday, we'll be having Prize Time, hosted by Mickey, with this week's guest is Eric from Makey Makey. That'll be at 10 a.m. Pacific Time. And on Friday, we'll have the Maze Game Show and Tell Geek Out on Pursuitery. So if you can get your stuff into us by Friday, we will talk about it at 10 a.m. Although we do actually get a deluge of entries, so hopefully we can talk about it. With that said, that's the breakdown for the Maze Game. And we would like to open up to questions now via Twitter using the hashtag #CodingWithScratch. Got a couple here we'd like to address. Okay, Andy Shin writes, how can the coaches join the Hangout? It's a good question, Andy. We don't have a formal process for it yet, but I very much want to have coaches on the Geek Out. So if anybody out there is coaching and would like to join, let's talk in either the Scratch Coaches Studio, or you can give me a note via Twitter and I'll get back to you. I'd love to have coaches on the Geek Outs. In fact, we would adore having coaches on the Geek Outs. Maybe, begging.
Yeah.
Please. Thank you. Well played. That's why you are the ambassador.
Exactly.
You run this. Please contact us via Twitter or via the Scratch Coaches Studio, and we will do our very best to get you on. And if you're on the Scratch Coaches mailing list, you can also reply to those emails. We have a Scratch Coaches mailing list happening that keeps all of our coaches up to date on what's happening in our Geek Out listings. We would love to have coaches on every single Geek Out. every single one, especially with hints, because I'm a good scratcher, but I'm not coach level scratcher yet, but I can try my very best. Any other questions coming in? No. So I'm going to go ahead and give everybody 2 minutes to get their questions into us via Twitter using the hashtag #CodingWithScratch. Again, the breakdown for the week is the Maze Game Challenge is open now at Pursuitery.com. The Maze Game Hints and Tips Geek Out will be tomorrow at 10 a.m. again on Pursuitery.com. I'll stream from the pages. On Thursday, we'll be having the Prize Time Geek Out on Pursuitery, where we announced the winner of the Makey Makey from last week's challenge. And again, those are staggered, as we'd mentioned earlier, and that's what broke the internet. Those are staggered, so we go every week with it. First week will be announced this week. The entries for this week will be given the award via Makey Makey next week. And on Friday, we'll be having the Maze Game Show and Tell, again at 10 a.m. Pacific Time on Pursuitery.com. So get a Scratch account from scratch.mit.edu, and then go to Pursuitery and join the challenges. If you're in by 11:59 Pacific Time, PM Pacific Time by Sunday night, you are eligible for a Makey Makey. And if you get all of your challenges in regardless by self-study route, by August 24th, 11:59 Pacific Time, on August 24th, again, you will win a Scratch Digital Ninja Badge. Okay, so any more questions? All right, so we have no more questions on. I'd like to thank all of you for joining us. Thank you so very much. We do appreciate it. Again, my name is Evan Jones. I'm the community manager for Pursuitery.com, and sitting to my left,
Mickey, Youth Ambassador.
Summer Youth Ambassador.
Well.
You reign. No, don't put it like that. You reign through all the summers in your eventual domination of the academic field of
Math.
applied mathematics. Yes.
Applied mathematics.
Your eventual. We cannot stop you from eventually reigning over the empire that is applied mathematics. Look how hard you are laughing, man. our tech guys just like. But we know it to be true. Please join us this summer with the Coding with Scratch challenges. The second challenge is up now, the Maze Game. You can join on Pursuitery.com. We will see you all very soon. Thank you so much for everything. Please keep the entries coming. If you have questions, please use the hashtag Coding with Scratch. And we will see you on the Geek Counts and on Scratch and on Pursuitery. Thanks so much, everybody.